is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Unlockables podcast, the story of video games, the people who play them, and the memories made along the way. As always, I am your host. My name is Eric. I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in wherever, whenever, in time and space you may be located. It means so much to me that you are here checking out what is going on the show and what is going on in the world of video games. Well, I'm back on the air once again, and you can probably guess why based on the title of this episode and the timing and how I rushed to get this out based around everything that's going on. D23 is currently underway, and we are getting a lot of incredible Kingdom Hearts news. And again, current events isn't really something that I cover too much. I've been covering it a little bit more just because it's easier to just hop on and talk about it while I work on other related projects related to the games that I'm playing. But when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, if something happens that I think is noteworthy, I'm going to get on it and talk about it for sure. And we got a lot of information and a lot of exciting reveals at D23 related to Kingdom Hearts. Most importantly, I think, is that Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out late 2027, release date confirmed late 2027. Tetsuya Nomura himself and Tai Yasue both said this is 100%. It's not going to get pushed into 2028. It's not going to get delayed. They are for sure targeting that late 2027 release date, and they're going to have it out next year, which is absolutely insane that we are going to get the conclusion of the Final Fantasy VII remake trilogy, and we are going to get Kingdom Hearts 4. I think that's just going to be a crazy year for Square Enix. It's going to be a crazy year for me personally. With my limited time, those might be the only two games that I play all year at the rate we're going. So that release date was confirmed. We finally got to see one of the Disney Pixar worlds that would be included in Kingdom Hearts 4, and that is going to be the world of Coco. To be honest, I hadn't seen that movie before, but as soon as it got announced, I woke up this morning and I was catching up on all the news, and I was like, all right, I need to watch this movie since it's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4, and I actually ended up watching it today and loved it. I thought it was absolutely spectacular with the Dia de los Muertos theming and the whole story, including Mexican culture, Mexican heritage. I was really moved by it. I thought it was really incredible. The story was incredible. The characters are incredible. And so now I think it's a really, really awesome inclusion into what Kingdom Hearts 4 is shaping up to be. Absolutely spectacular. The world looks spectacular. The graphics look spectacular. I think it's going to be awesome. So great inclusion to include Coco. And I think including Coco is an interesting look at kind of what this game is going to be dealing with, because just so you guys know, just to kind of set up what Kingdom Hearts 4 is kind of going to be dealing with here. And this is not a lore deep dive, obviously, and I don't have all the lore components down pat. I haven't been investigating the lore around in theory crafting and theory building, watching a bunch of videos as to what people are thinking is going to happen with this game. But it's going to deal with Sora being in a place called Quadratum, and Quadratum is in a place that is known in the Kingdom Hearts universe as Unreality, or at least they're calling it Unreality, because at the conclusion of Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora used the power of waking to undo the defeat they suffered at the hands of the real Organization 13, used the power of waking, really basically put himself back together after everybody died just through sheer force of will and friendship, and then changed the outcome and was able to defeat Xehanort and use that power again to bring Kairi back after Xehanort had taken her. And at the conclusion of Kingdom Hearts 3, in the end credits, we see Sora sitting with Kairi and he fades away. And it turns out he ends up in this gigantic cityscape that kind of looks like Tokyo. It has the Shibuya district in Tokyo, but it's very Tokyo, Japan coded. And he's in this realistic city worldscape with real cars and real people. And we've seen him in this multiple times throughout the trailers and information we have gotten for Kingdom Hearts 4. The cityscape has featured very prominently in all the trailers and the gameplay they've showed us up until this point. That place is called Quadratum, and the Kingdom Hearts characters kind of figure this out throughout Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Remind DLC and Melody of Memory. They figured out that Sora is in this place. I don't know if they know it's called Quadratum, but they call it Unreality, or it's a place that's the opposite side of the Kingdom Hearts universe. So I think Ansem the Wise is surmising, hey, if this is reality, then the opposite side of that, the flip side of reality, is unreality. And where this is kind of led is people maybe speculating or theorizing that like this is some kind of like afterlife coded place. Maybe like Sora died by like abusing the power of waking, because like sleep and death in the Kingdom Hearts universe are kind of like closely linked to one another. Like true death, even though we haven't really seen anyone like truly die in the Kingdom Hearts universe. So immediately with the inclusion of Coco, I was like, oh, they're really going for this like Sora is dead thing, or maybe that's like the speculation or like the what they want us to think. But upon further examination of like the screenshots that came out of Coco, and now watching the movie and understanding like what it's about, in the world of Coco, the skeletons are like dead, and they're on like this alternate side of like existence where it's like they're dead, but they exist in death. It's like an afterlife. And then on the Dia de los Muertos celebrations, when when the people in their family who are still living set up their like shrines with all the pictures on them and like celebrate the deaths of their ancestors and remember their family, the spirits in that like skeleton world are allowed to like cross over the bridge to the living and like visit their relatives or like see them in the living world and like get gifts and offerings that are made to them and like bring them back to the land of the dead. And so I was like, oh, okay, like they're going for this. Like it's gonna tell us that like they're hinting at like Sora being dead and like this whole Quadratum place being like a afterlife death kind of coded existence that Sora is currently living in. But examining the screenshots for the Coco world, the story of Coco revolves around this boy Miguel, and he wants to play music, and he like discovered his family hates music, and he discovers he had like a musician in his family, and he ends up in the world of the dead as a living boy. So they have to like paint him like a skeleton so that he can like go around in the world and do what he needs to do. Examining the screenshots, Sora looks to be painted the way that Miguel is, so that he can like blend in with the world, because he's like standing next to Hector, one of the skeleton characters, and like Hector is very clearly skeleton and bone, but Sora looks to be like painted like a skeleton the way that Miguel was in the story, signifying that like he was alive. So maybe that theory is like thrown out the window, or maybe there's something else to that. So that was the Coco world. It looks absolutely incredible. It's got a themed Keyblade. It looks like it's got an amazing boss fight. We also see a little bit more in the Quadratum world, or like this unreality world that is like being set up as kind of like maybe like a central hub or central place that like Sora goes to or returns to, or it's shaping up to be the place where the Kingdom Hearts story elements are going to be taking place. And we once again see several characters that we've already identified, one being Strelitzia, one being Vali, one being Sigurd, all characters that were present in the mobile games that were shut down or like finished a couple years ago. Strelitzia was killed in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, or at least we suspected that she was killed. Sigurd showed up like in the end of Union Cross, or maybe like in some flashbacks in Dark Road. He was like a robed character, but people pretty quickly figured out that it was Sigurd. I think that's who, if I'm remembering correctly, who that was. And Vali was a classmate, believe an upper classmate of Xehanort's in the Dark Road story. And one of the interesting things that is said in the exchange of dialogue, like Sora has a cell phone. He's like, oh, like they're calling for the Dandelions, and the Dandelions is like a big plot point in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. So that seems to be carrying forward into whatever this Quadratum story is going to be. And the Heartless, or the darkness in Quadratum, whatever it's going to end up being in this real cityscape, looks absolutely menacing. Some of these like shadow heartless creatures look absolutely like demonic, like pure evil. So I'm really loving the designs. At first, people were not like really impressed with what was going on in Quadratum, with how realistic it looked, but I think this look gave us a lot better idea of what that's going to look like, and I was a bit more impressed with it this time around. So that was like the first Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer that we got to see that showed off the world of Coco, and then it had some of that Quadratum stuff tacked on. Then what just wrapped up now, and I didn't get a chance to see and watch all of it, was the D23 like Kingdom Hearts panel where they brought Tetsuya Nomura, made a surprise appearance, and I'm pretty sure Tai Yasue was there too, and some other people, and they were talking to them about the game, and that's how we got confirmed that it is going to be coming out in 2027. So we had like this D23 panel, and they showed off a little bit more of the game, which I thought was pretty cool. There's going to be playable sections with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, so you finally get to play. We got to play as Mickey a little bit in like the Remind DLC, like at the end of that. I don't think we've ever gotten to play as Donald and Goofy, so that's really cool. So there was a playable section with Mickey in what I can only assume is Scala ad Kylum, because that's where he was going to look for information to figure out what happened to Sora. And it looks like he got like sucked into a book, because it's like a very like book coded level where he's like going through pages, and it like flips from like a 3D gameplay to 2D gameplay. And there's a section where he like pulls a pin out and like unfurls like a bridge to like it, so you can like advance through the level. So there's some really interesting things surrounding that for sure. And then we get what was speculated for years, confirmation that Goofy and Donald went down to the underworld, Hades underworld, ruled by Hades from the Hercules movie, to see if Sora had ended up there, like if he had actually like died. So people are like suspecting, like Sora's friends have expected that he is like dead, or at least akin to something being dead. So Donald and Goofy go down there, and they're like, hey, like this is where people come when they aren't up there anymore, is what the verbiage that Goofy uses. But basically he's like, hey, like this is where people come when they die, right? And Hades, who seems a little less adversarial this time, but we'll have to see, is like, yeah, but Sora's not here, so yeah, sorry, can't help you. And then they showed off some of the Donald and Goofy gameplay where they're like sliding down like a hill. And then they showed off combat for Donald, which they kept it very close to like his mage classing. And then they showed it the gameplay for Goofy with his shield. They kept it very close to like his knight classing, which was pretty cool. And we got a little bit more info in Sora's time with Quadratum. One of the biggest things that I saw is that we got Braig, or Zigbar, or now as he has been revealed to us, Lushu. We got him talking to a younger Xehanort who appears to be in Quadratum. He even calls him you old coot. So that's interesting. Young Xehanort confirmed to be in Quadratum. So the real mystery of this game right now is what purpose Quadratum kind of serves. Like, how do you end up there? A lot of these characters from Union Cross and Dark Road, where this is stuff that's happened before Sora's time in the story. Like, Union Cross was like ages ago in the timeline, and then Dark Road was obviously during Xehanort's youth, which was like 80 years before the actual story of Kingdom Hearts and Birth by Sleep and all that stuff. This Quadratum, this unreality, appears to be a place where you somehow end up, and characters that have died ended up here, like Strelitzia appears to have like died in Union Cross. I'm pretty sure Vali died in Dark Road. I might have to like rewatch Dark Road. Xehanort was defeated at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, and now his younger version is here in Quadratum for some reason. Luxord is confirmed here. He was seen in the Nintendo Direct trailer, and now we've heard the voice of Braig / Zigbar / Lushu. He's here in this world as well. So it's like, what is this world? What does it mean that it's like unreality, the flip side of the Kingdom Hearts reality? How did all these characters get here? What does it mean that they're all here? Like, is Kingdom Hearts 4 going to explore like these themes of death and dying and moving on and afterlife and all that stuff? I think that'd be pretty cool if it went that route. It seems a little bit dark for Disney, but I mean, like, the movie Coco is literally about people dying, and then like once all the people in life forget about you, that's like your final death. And that's kind of like a tough subject for kids and younger children. My favorite game of all time, aside from Kingdom Hearts 2, is Final Fantasy IX. And Final Fantasy IX deals with very, very heavy topics and themes of like death and dying and the meaning of life. So if Kingdom Hearts 4 was going that direction, I'd be really excited to kind of explore and see like an exploration of mortality in Kingdom Hearts 4. And then the final reveal we got in that trailer for that happened at that panel was Riku shows up, and Riku somehow finds his way to Quadratum. I mean, we know at the end of Melody of Memory, he found a way to use the Nameless Star to get in the end of the world. Like, I forget what that place is called, but like the place that's like a sheet of water. It's like reflective. He uses the Nameless Star to like get to Quadratum. So Riku like shows up when they appear to be like outnumbered by all these like gigantic towering darkness monsters. Riku like shows up, and then that's like the end of the trailer. So interesting stuff. The game, we're kind of starting to get a little bit more sense of like how this game is going to work. The question is really going to be, how much time do we kind of spend in this more reality coded level where it's like actual people and buildings and skyscrapers? How much time do we spend in Quadratum with the actual Kingdom Hearts stuff versus how much time are we going to spend in these Disney and Pixar worlds. Nomura did state that like the worlds for this game have been very carefully chosen to represent the journey that Sora was on in this game. So I'll be curious to see what that means for the rest of the worlds chosen. I've been thinking it and rolling over in my head about what does it mean that the world of Coco was chosen to be one of the Disney properties included in this game? Because like I said, Coco deals with death and dying, but it also deals with some of the key themes in Kingdom Hearts. It's not just the power of your friendship and the bond of friendship. It's the power and bond of family. Like that's just a different kind of connection, the way that hearts can connect. So I imagine that will kind of probably be the premise of that Coco world. It's like, oh, it's the connection between family, the hearts of your family, and that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how much time you spend in Quadratum versus Disney worlds. How will you get to the Disney worlds when you're like apparently trapped in this alternate reality that Sora was warned is like, hey, you're going to end up in this place. You won't be able to escape. There's been some speculation that like maybe like Sora goes to sleep and like explores the Disney worlds, because again, sleep and death are like closely related. But at the end of that Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer at the panel, you know, we see Sora in the Coco world doing exploration. And then we see Donald and Goofy arrive in the world of Coco, like kind of like hot on Sora's heels, like by themselves. So they're obviously looking for him. So it'll just be interesting to see how all of that works together. But it's starting to come into a little bit clearer picture of what this game is really going to be about. And I'm pretty excited for it. The other interesting thing that we got revealed to us was that there is going to be a Kingdom Hearts animated series that will be debuting on Disney Plus. And we haven't been told really anything about it. We've only gotten one piece of key art, which I imagine is like the main key art, which is a Keyblade wielder and surrounded by like a really, really bright light. It's like basically like a white void. And then there's just like, you're looking at the back of this Keyblade wielder who has his Keyblade slung over his shoulder and is like wind blowing back his like hair and clothes. And at first I was like, oh, okay, like cool, that's Sora. And my assumption was they're going to do some kind of like retelling of the Kingdom Hearts story in animated form, and they would like tell it from the beginning or something like that, because I was like, oh, that makes the most sense. If you're doing some kind of Kingdom Hearts animated series on Disney Plus, in my mind, it didn't make sense to me for Nomura to use this as kind of to shove like more complicated lore, like connected to the already complicated story that Kingdom Hearts is telling. So I was just making an assumption that this would be some kind of animated series where it could bring more people into the video game series, and it'd be a point to like retell or rehash the story or something like that. But then people started looking at the key art and started like breaking down kind of and the character's design is not necessarily what Sora looks like. I mean, maybe if his like spiky hair is like blowing back like the way it is in the key art, that you can maybe convince me. But the clothes, people noted, resembled a character from Kingdom Hearts Dark Road called Helgi, I believe he was. And Helgi was a character that was in the older upperclassmen with Vali, I believe, while Xehanort was in the underling class with Ericus. And so people are speculating now that Helgi may be the main character of this Kingdom Hearts animated series, and it may have to do with Xehanort's upperclassmen, because we don't really get to see what happens to all of them, and like they're kind of in and out of the story, and by the time they like fully reappear in the story, like a lot of them are dead and they all like end up dying anyways. Spoiler alerts for Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. So that would be interesting for Nomura to use an animated series as a way to tell an expanded story of Dark Road. And everything in Kingdom Hearts is always done in service to expand the story. So now the thing I'm thinking about in my mind is, if that is the case, and people also notice this too, is the Keyblade that this character had, which I at first thought was just the Kingdom Key, was actually a Keyblade that looks like the Keyblades that the upperclassmen had in Dark Road. It's got kind of the flanges at the bottom that come out. So it's not necessarily the Kingdom Key. It looks more like this Keyblade that these upperclassmen had in Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. So if this is in service to expanding the lore of the already existing story, Nomura must have a reason for wanting to do this in an animated form, and it's obviously going to connect to Kingdom Hearts 4 in some way, which I think is a really, really interesting choice. If I was playing the role of corporate Disney and somebody at Disney has to like be in charge of Kingdom Hearts, communicating with Nomura, and like in order to do that, they have to have a grasp on like what this kind of story is about and have to have like played all the games. And I wouldn't put it past corporate Disney to be like, hey, this is kind of a complex story. You know, we can't just put out an animated series that relies on you knowing a bunch of lore ahead of time to like connect to Kingdom Hearts 4. It would make more sense if I'm trying to get people to come into one of my most successful video game properties to just start it from the beginning, starring Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and just kind of retell the story from there. And maybe use that as a way to kind of like button up the lore in a easy to understand way that you could then just go into and play Kingdom Hearts 4 right away. But if this is indeed Helgi, that's an interesting choice and bold for Disney to like trust Nomura with an animated series that ties into Kingdom Hearts 4 that is just going to like expand and explain more things. But again, this is all pure speculation. This is what people are guessing. No, we don't know anything about this animated series yet, other than that it is in the works. Maybe it'll come out next year around the same time as Kingdom Hearts 4. And that's really all that we know about it. It's just pure speculation at this point. So my question for this animated series is, how does it serve the grander Kingdom Hearts 4 story? And I am really interested in this because we were supposed to have a mobile game, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, come out that we would have been playing up until the release of Kingdom Hearts 4 that seemed like it was going to have important story and lore stuff that happened. Like that game was supposed to take place at the height of the age of Scala Ad Kylemore. Like there are tons of Keyblade wielders there. We got that 4-minute cinematic leaked on social media for the opening of Missing Link, and it looked absolutely incredible. It had like these guys in robot suits going into like this dark void, and then this giant like Shadow Heartless appears, and then there's like dudes in robot suits with jetpacks and keyblades like flying around fighting this gigantic Heartless. And after that happens, we just go to like this gigantic like research place in Scala Ad Calm where like all these people are walking around. So yeah, that was shaping up to be a crazy story. And if Nomura wanted to incorporate plot elements and lore elements from Missing Link into Kingdom Hearts 4, and now he like can't anymore, is this series an opportunity to do that or expand on a story or tell a story that he obviously wanted to tell before Kingdom Hearts 4 came out? So I don't know. There's still a lot of questions, but it's really cool that we got to see this Kingdom Hearts stuff today and yesterday. And they had a whole panel on there, and Tetsuya Nomura was there, and they brought Haley Joel Osment and David Gallagher out. So they are confirmed to be reprising their roles as Sora and Riku respectively, which I thought was really, really cool. So all of that's like confirmed, and we have a target date, like probably Q4 next year. If it's late 2027, I would guess probably Q4. So that would be October, November, December, probably around sometime. So that's really, really interesting. It was really cool to see all that. This is like the most Kingdom Hearts news we've ever gotten at one time in like such a short span. It's like they showed like 2 new trailers. They showed off a world. They showed off an animated series, and they had like a whole hour-and-a-half panel with Nomura, with the creators, with the team developing the game, and then with Haley Joel Osment and David Gallagher. So really cool. It's really cool to see Disney acknowledge this series like this after so many years of just bafflingly kind of keeping it at arm's length. It seems like we got some stuff from Disney. Like they would have the characters come out. Like Donald and Goofy would come out at Disney parks around Halloween time dressed in their Kingdom Hearts attire, and there'd be the occasional merch thing at the Disney parks around Kingdom Hearts. I remember when the last time I went to Disney in like the mid 2010s, I actively looked for Kingdom Hearts stuff, and the only thing I could find was a pin of Mickey Mouse with the Organization 13 cloak on. That was like the only scrap of Kingdom Hearts I could find in the entire park. And now Disney is out here like heavily promoting this at their D23 con. They're making an animated series. Disney corporate is saying that Kingdom Hearts is a $1 billion franchise, which that kind of scares me when they start talking about the thing I love in terms of like how much value it is to them. Disney corporate, please just like let Nomura cook and leave it alone and just let the people that know how to run it, and just go off and do whatever you're doing with like Marvel and Star Wars, and just let the people that know Kingdom Hearts just cook with Kingdom Hearts. Please, for the love of God, don't refer to my beloved series as just a $1 billion franchise so that you can like increase your share price. That makes me feel really sad and really bad about the thing that I love. But anyways, so much Kingdom Hearts news over the last 2 days, and it's been an absolutely spectacular weekend. We got Kingdom Hearts 4 news 2 days in a row. The Chicago Bears played a preseason game today, so football's back, baby. Like, it's incredible. It's been such a great weekend. So yeah, I obviously couldn't not get on here and ramble about Kingdom Hearts because obviously, I'm kind of the Kingdom Hearts podcast in our little circle here. I certainly don't claim to know the most about it. I don't usually engage with like deep theory crafting or deep lore crafting. I just wait for the game to come out and I play it, and then I puzzle together the lore kind of from there. I'm more of a retroactive lore enjoyer than a like proactive like lore crafter. But I think that is part of the fun of being in this community and being in these games, is that the lore is so complex and can be confusing, but it can be fun to try and piece together what is coming down the pipeline with all the given information that we have. And then when they show us something new, we can try and like rule out what theories are still like correct, what theories are we can like throw in the trash. And that aspect of it is really fun. And Nomura himself has stated that he really loves that element of the Kingdom Hearts community, that he's able to show them things and then they'll puzzle and speculate over it and they'll talk about it and they'll make content about it. He said that's actively one of his favorite things about working on Kingdom Hearts. So there will be over a year more of speculation. I think that we'll get more from Kingdom Hearts 4 in the next probably couple of months. They'll probably shift their focus back to Final Fantasy VII Revelation, are we calling it? Because that is coming out at the start of the year, and then we'll have Kingdom Hearts 4 to round out the year for Square Enix, which I think is crazy. Someone made a really interesting claim. They said that next year is Star Wars' 50th anniversary, which is kind of crazy. They made a prediction that they would reveal a Star Wars world during like some kind of 50th anniversary celebration for Star Wars. So that would be kind of crazy, but it would have to fit with the themes of whatever Nomura is cooking up for Kingdom Hearts 4. But given the inclusion of Coco and like the meaning of family and family bonds, and then you think about Star Wars and how it's kind of been the story of the Skywalker family, I could twist my brain into a pretzel enough to maybe get on board with a Star Wars world. The themes of like the light side and dark side of the Force definitely fit with the themes of light and darkness for Kingdom Hearts. So that would be interesting. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But if that does happen in the future, I'll definitely have a episode ready on that. But speaking for the podcast, what the return of Kingdom Hearts means next year, I did an episode. I did the finale episode of my Guiding Keys series, and I titled it An Oath to Return, where I made a promise that even if I wasn't doing podcasting stuff, or even if I wasn't putting out content at the same pace that I was then, I would return to do Kingdom Hearts as long as they keep putting out Kingdom Hearts content, because the purpose of Guiding Keys is to create an audio format to where you can play the games and kind of have a audio companion with you as you play the games along, narrated by me as a person who has played these games multiple times over the 25 years that they've been around. So yes, when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, there will be a Guiding Keys episode, or several Guiding Keys episodes on Kingdom Hearts 4, linking together all of the lore with the previous games. And now that the animated series is in play, considering that was something I never had to deal with before, we will do a Guiding Keys episode or several episodes on the episodes of the animated series. And we will see how that ties into the rest of the series proper, or if they're just going to kind of silo that off as its own thing. But regardless, we will be doing content. And I say we, like a bunch of people working on this show with me. I will be doing content around Kingdom Hearts 4 and the animated series for my Guiding Keys mini-series on my podcast, which is the Unlockables. So you can have that to look forward to next year, and I'm pretty excited about that. Now that Kingdom Hearts 4 is a year away, I might do some more YouTube stuff talking about some topics that I think maybe might be important for Kingdom Hearts 4. Maybe I can do some essays on some things that I think you might need to know going in, or explain some more of the heavier topics so that you are prepared to go in if you aren't as familiar or experienced with the franchise or series as I am. But that remains to be seen. Right now, I'm just excited and happy to have more news about my favorite game, my favorite series of all time. And I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 4. That can't get here soon enough, but not too fast because the unstoppable passage of time is getting faster and faster. And I don't really like that. So, yeah. In the meantime, if you are preparing to undertake your own Kingdom Hearts journey in preparation for playing Kingdom Hearts 4, I would recommend checking out one of like the Steam sales, or I know there was some controversy around the Nintendo Switch collection that was coming out because of some maybe potential AI art on that. But if you want to pick up the Nintendo Switch collection, it appears that that has some of the games that you need to play in there. Again, Steam puts the Kingdom Hearts games on sale pretty often, and I was able to pick up like the entire series for like $70. But I've seen even cheaper than that. I think you could, a couple weeks ago, you could get it for like $50 or $60, and that's like every Kingdom Hearts game up until I think except for Melody of Memory, because Melody of Memory is a Switch exclusive, but you could honestly just watch cutscenes of Melody of Memory and you'd be fine getting that information from there. But in order to undertake a proper Kingdom Hearts journey for Kingdom Hearts 4, you do have to kind of play like most of all of them. I would tell you to play all of them, but if you were looking for some to like skip, I would tell you that Chain of Memories would probably be okay to skip, because I didn't play that one until way later in life, and I understood the gist of it. And honestly, Recoded would be a game you could skip, although that game has been reduced to nothing but cutscenes and like descriptive text in the collections, so that's not a problem at all. All the rest of them, I think, are must-plays. And then in order to understand what is going on with Kingdom Hearts 4, you're going to have to engage with Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and Dark Road. That mobile app is now delisted. Unless you had it installed on your phone when they delisted it, you could re-download it. But there's currently no way to access Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Dark Road if you didn't download it before. So you are reduced to going on YouTube and looking up all the cutscene movies for Union Cross and Dark Road to unravel the mystery of what happened in those games, which is really disappointing, because Union Cross was a game that went on for several years and the lore did get very dense. Union Cross probably has some of the most complex lore in the Kingdom Hearts story, and it's delivered via text-based cutscenes. They are not fully rendered cutscenes that are spoken to you, so they require you to read the text. And I believe that cutscene movie for Dark Road is several hours long. So that information is difficult to access unless you find a YouTuber who can just like break it down for you and you can listen to it that way. Same thing with Dark Road. And this information in Union Cross looks to be critical in Kingdom Hearts 4, because one of the main people, or one of the main groups of people that we haven't seen any of this Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff that's supposed to be taking center stage here, are the Foretellers and the Master of Masters. The only person that we have seen is maybe Ava and maybe Lushu, and we can't even confirm that. We have not seen anything of the Master of Masters, who is supposed to be taking like center stage here, at all in any of the material that they have shown us so far. And you're going to need to know what his deal is going into this game, which will require you engaging with Union Cross and Dark Road. So it'll be interesting to see if they come out with something that can kind of remedy that, or if they have something in Kingdom Hearts 4 that can deliver that information to you is somehow like some kind of story recap, because you'll need to know that. Or unless they can just somehow, I don't know, just like pretend like Valley and Sigurd and all these characters have like always existed. And I don't know how that's going to work. But if you're undertaking a Kingdom Hearts journey, all that stuff is essential. And my Guiding Key series is there to help you grasp that story so far. But honestly, I trust you. You're smart enough. If you just play through the games in order, you'll be able to understand what's going on enough to be able to enjoy Kingdom Hearts 4. My podcast just gets a little bit more into the nitty gritty. And then some people have YouTube channels that go into the real like sicko stuff with the lore. So there's resources out there for you to not be intimidated by this series. And I would recommend going out to play it, because Kingdom Hearts 4 is looking to be incredible. It's shaping up to be something that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun and a great inclusion in the series. So go check it out. And you can find all that stuff at my link tree, linktr.ee/unlockables podcast. All my links are there, all my social media, anywhere that the podcast can be found, like all the major audio platforms. In the meantime, go play Kingdom Hearts. I'm probably going to go play Kingdom Hearts right now, honestly, because I'm really excited for Kingdom Hearts 4 and next year and the animated series. So crazy. I would have laughed at you if you would have predicted an animated series for D23 this year. Absolutely insane. But until next time, remember, it's not just the story of video games. It's the story of you. And may your heart be your guiding key.